Welcome, Warrior Nation. Welcome to Under the Armor, where we try and get to the heart of Warrior athletics. Today we have Juan Garcia and Rusty Chappell from the baseball team today. Welcome, guys.
Well, thank you for having us.
Sir.
Yeah. Let's get right into it. Juan, you've been here for
3 years.
3 years, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's just say there's been a lot of transition going on during the past 3 years or so. What has that been like for you?
It's been a little hectic at this point now. It's kind of like the norm.
Yeah.
Because I've been 3 years, 3 different head coaches. So I'm kind of used to it by now, trying to learn something new and whatnot. But, you know, every year has brought something new, something fresh, and that's been nice. You get to learn a lot of different things because, you know, everybody does a different system per se.
Right.
So that's been nice. There's also the part where it's, like, frustrating because you get used to something and then it's like, oh, you got to change it. But what can you do?
Yeah. And now you're like a veteran, like leader in that sort of way. Like you've been here even longer than all the coaches have been. Like that's weird to think about from a player's perspective. I'm sure. It's like you know all the guys really well, and you're just talking as you're getting prepped for this. If there's only one freshman on the team last year, and so like you know all the guys pretty well. So like you're able to kind of be a little mini coach. Is that right? Like
at this point right now is more like I'm just there to like give them support and whatnot. Having like my role right now is like kind of like get them going, like this is how the conference works and whatnot, because it's a really big transition from high school or JUCO to Conference Carolinas, especially this year where we have the reigning national championships.
I know. I have to admit, I was watching North Greenville and like cheering for them just a teeny bit, just like the conference pride. I have to admit that.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, good for them. They had a really good team. I mean, they have a really good squad every year. They have a great coach. So yeah, we had one game where we played really well against them. So this year we're just ready to get them going. Hopefully we can play them well and whatnot. Maybe take one from them.
Yeah. Hey, I remember that. I remember that game too because I'm up in the booth doing all the live stats. So it was a good game. It was extra innings, right?
It did. It was 3-2. Bo Shaw threw a really good game.
Yeah.
He went like 6 innings. I mean, he had one hit. He gave it 1 hit and whatnot. So everything was working properly.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Okay, transitioning over to Rusty here. This is a little bit of a cliche question, but what brought you to SWU here?
Well, I love the campus from the physical aspect. How it's all close. It's all right here together. But then just the professors and the administration, how genuine they are, how caring they are. And I love the environment here. It's a real family type environment here. Like I said, it being so small and all right here together, you're able to bond and come together more so than other places.
Yeah.
And that was really appealing to me in the whole process.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And like, so with that being said, and you kind of touched on like how genuine and welcoming everybody is. Do you think that like you're adjusting well into the community?
I feel like it, but it's an adjustment. Like I said, you were talking about him. He knew everybody here. Because he's been here so long. I don't know anybody. A lot of transfers came in. A lot of other new guys, whole new coaching staff. I don't know anybody coming in.
Right.
So it was a big adjustment, but I feel like it's going well. And I'm excited for the second half of the semester or year.
Yeah, I will say my suite mates are both on the baseball team, and you've definitely gotten in with them.
Oh yeah, I'm in there every day.
I hear y'all in the like through the thin walls of.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure everybody on that hall hears this.
Oh yeah. And now, joining us a little bit late, we've got Mike Gillespie.
How is everybody?
We're doing good. How you doing?
It's good to see you, Juan.
Good to see you, Coach.
Seen you before.
Yeah.
Rusty, I know of you. Good to see you as well.
Good to see you.
So you guys just getting started?
Yeah.
Isaac, I'm sure you've got this thing rolling.
Oh, pretty much,
like crazy. Good deal. Hey, keep going. I'll just jump in and we'll go from there.
Okay. So, Juan, back to you. We touched a little bit on your like leadership on the field, but you're also an RA on campus. So, like in the apartments, what is that role meant to you and really like given to you? Do you think?
I mean, the biggest thing is I just felt like it's more an opportunity to be more open with people, be available for people. I do. They might say I'm kind of like the crazy RA. I'm a little different than everyone else. I have a lot of athletes in my stack as well, so that helps. I get to relate to them, and they relate to me too. We can work through things and whatnot. I bring a different perspective, so that's been really helpful. So yeah.
Stuff, yeah, and like as the listeners know that I'm a lifeguard / hall chaplain on campus, and I know that I've really learned a lot and like grown a lot through that program. So I'm sure it's the same for you with RA.
Yeah, it's like a team. It's a different team outside of baseball. Yeah. They definitely provided me really good knowledge on the gospel and whatnot. I'm not a person. I grew up Catholic, but didn't have much knowledge of the word and whatnot. And this is a team that just really have brought me in, have really taught me really slow because I'm a slow learner. Yeah. So
really learning is still learning, right?
Yeah, have taken the time, and also some awesome people, like people that I would like cherish for the rest of my life, like Cameron Spear. Him, just a great guy, genuine, like happy guy. You get to meet different people outside of the baseball field. I think that's really different because then you bring something else into the baseball field that can help out.
Good stuff. Rusty, do you know Cameron?
I did.
Yeah? Okay.
I did. Oh, yeah.
Well,
oh, yeah.
Hey, one semester is all you need with him.
That's it.
Yeah.
Not even that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Hopefully, I'm not going to duplicate any questions going
hopefully
forward.
not.
Yeah, hopefully not. But jump back to you, Rusty. I believe this is accurate. I believe you are the second baseball student athlete to actually be a second-generation player. Your dad played here, if I'm not mistaken, on the very first team.
Very first team, Central
back
Wesleyan.
in maybe 1986, I believe it was.
That's probably about right, under Coach Cinnamon.
Under Coach Cinnamon, exactly. So just talk a little bit about maybe what you heard growing up about, Central Wesleyan College, as you mentioned it, but Southern Wesleyan baseball, maybe what your dad talked about, your uncle, Rod, as well, played here. And I actually played with Rod. So I know him really well. But so just talk a little bit about that growing up, what you may have heard and learned about.
It was like what I told Isaac, how close everybody was, how close he was with his teammates, with his coaches, professors, everybody. The bond that is built here because, it's a small school, small town. And, that connection that he had, a lot of great stories, a lot of great memories he has from there. And it was always a dream of mine to carry on that and to be, the second generation player here. That was what I always wanted to do. I always wear one of his old jackets around. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was always what I wanted to do. I wanted to keep that going because of how much fun he had. He said it was part of the best times of his life. And, I would be another Chappell to go through and do it. He did it. My uncle did it. And it means the world to be able to be here and continue that legacy.
I have one of those jackets, so let me know on a cold day. We'll bust them out.
Oh, yeah. I still got mine at the house.
There you go.
It'll be out here in the spring probably.
I'll bring mine and put it in the office, so we'll be good to go.
Sure.
Mr. Puerto Rico, I know we've talked about it. We actually took a couple of years, and I took the team down there. We did kind of a mission community service baseball trip. But when we were there, and this was prior to the hurricane that came through a few years ago, I know there was great devastation there on the island. Talk a little bit about the decline of baseball maybe you saw or you've heard about. Because when we were there, they talked really about the last 10 to 12 years, the decline of baseball within Puerto Rico, what that means maybe to you, to your family, some relatives, friends that you still know back in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, so I actually went there a week before we got here. I got there to go there for a week. It's starting to finally feel like we're starting to recuperate from the hurricane. But, yeah, there's definitely still that where everything's declining, and a lot of it has to do, it's taken a long time to recover from that. A lot of fields are just really bad condition. The local field where I grew up playing in, it finally just got fixed, like after 4 years. So it took a long time. A lot of people are leaving the island as well, just to get more opportunity. There's like a lot of trouble with the government, education and whatnot. So people are just leaving the country, going to here to the States just to find a better life, per se. As for my family actually I grew up, my mom was the president of the baseball league where I played. Nice. My uncle, he was the director of operations for Latin America for Little League organization. My dad got to umpire in Williamsport.
That's nice.
So we've been really heavily involved in youth sports
Obviously,
down there in Puerto Rico, and it hurts my mom the most because she really took a lot. She put a lot of work into that league, getting those fields right. It went from only having one field to having about 5-6 fields, going from 12 teams to having about 35, 40 teams, which down there, that's huge. And it's down back to like 10 fields and whatnot. So it really hurts them a lot. But hopefully, I mean, as we're starting to recover now, we get back up to where we were a couple years ago. So, yeah.
So all that's like from the hurricane.
Yes.
Devastation of
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I mean, you don't know when power's going to be there or when it's going to go.
Exactly.
And the island, I mean, it's not the most safe place to be in either. So a lot of people are playing basketball, too, down there now. So
Okay.
Talk some maybe you may have already spoken about this in the earlier, maybe about your faith, maybe what that has strengthened the short time that you've been here, Rusty, or the lengthy time that you've been here now, Juan, and also maybe how you incorporate that into the baseball program. If you guys have any team Bible studies, devotionals, things like that, some things that you can do, or even if you want to branch out maybe into the entire athletic department, university, maybe what the university is doing to help you strengthen your faith and things of that nature.
you go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I feel like it's definitely strengthened my faith since being here. I enjoy going to chapel every Monday and Wednesday, 10 a.m. Newton Hobson. As well, back during the fall, Juan and Caden Cotton led some Bible studies every Tuesday night.
Yes, sir.
That was great, and it all is very good and very important in strengthening your relationship with Jesus. And as far as baseball team-wise, Coach Robinson gives us devotion every practice. He posts it on the practice plan, and then he'll go over it in practice and elaborate on it. And it just really helps us all come together and brings us together in that aspect of it.
Yeah, for me personally, when I got here, remember I came from JUCO, and religion was something that we didn't really speak on as a team and whatnot. And when I got here, one of the first persons I met, Sean Sute. For those that don't know, Sean Sute was a ministry major. He was married. First thing that shocked me, like, oh, you're married. I'm playing baseball with a married person and whatnot, and then a ministry major. Like, what's that all about? But he's probably the greatest teammate I've ever had, other than Parker. He taught me so much. He got me into the game of golf, which I love him for that too, because that's something I'll probably do for the rest of my life now, as I'm about to finish baseball. But the biggest thing he taught me was just to love big on people, be kind, love big. Just to see people outside of their stats and their performance. We're much bigger than that. We're people were, Rusty is Rusty. He's not Rusty the baseball player. He's Rusty the person. So when we get past that, you can create such a unique relationship and bond, and that's how a team grows closer together. I'm really praying that I think this year will be the year that we finally get over that hump where we all come together as one. Those Bible studies, it was Caden Cotton's idea. Over the summer, he called me. He was like, I feel like we should do this. And I was like, let's go for it. And then me, Caden Cotton, Johnny Middlebrooks, and Blaze Haddock, we meet on Monday nights. We'll talk about something. I usually just listen because I don't have much knowledge on the Bible. Johnny and Blaze, just amazing knowledge on the Bible. And then Caden can just break down things in a way. He's a really smart guy. He breaks down things in a way that we can explain to the whole team as one. We got 35 people to go towards the end. Yeah, it was a packed house in my apartment. So it was a good time. We got there, played a little Wii. And then we did that, and it was pretty good.
35 people in one school apartment?
Yeah. It was pretty hectic.
That is hectic.
Oh, yeah.
That is hectic.
It was pretty hectic.
Oh, yeah.
But it was fun. I mean, everybody got there. The biggest thing, one of the things that I found funny is, we'll try to get there. It's come by. People be like, oh, I got to watch this basketball game. And I was like, just come. Watch a basketball game. Yeah. And they always ended up saying something. You wouldn't think they would say anything or they would know, and they just... Wow, it's they know, Marsugar Island, for example. The first time he came, he was quiet. He was like, I'm just going to do me, whatever. It's on his phone. And we're talking about something. And then he just throws out all this stuff from the scripture. I'm like, wow, if we really don't push this, who might have known, he has all this knowledge. He has all this to offer,
Yeah. And you mentioned your JUCO. And I had it in my head that we played them. Have we played them?
No.
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 I thought we had. It may have been a different sport.
No.
Yeah, I tried to find it.
We played them in softball last year, yes, Salkehatchie.
That's probably it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all blends together. So
Yeah.
Yeah, typically a 4-year would play a junior college in the fall,
yeah.
like for baseball. But you're right, softball
Yeah.
did, and I think
Yeah.
I think our men's soccer team may have played USC Union either last year or the year before.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just wrong.
Hey, you're learning, Isaac. Like we
I
all
am.
are.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So rapid fire.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, what we do is we throw out usually 1-2 words. You throw back at us preferably one word, but if it takes 3 to 5, that's fine as well. Some of these are going to be easy, very generic. Some will make you think a little bit.
Yeah.
But who wants to start?
Go ahead, Rusty.
Oh, nice.
All right,
Freshman
okay.
starts off.
There we go.
All right.
All right.
Favorite movie?
Art of Racing in the Rain.
One.
The Dark Knight Rises.
Snake draft coming back at you. Favorite food?
Rice, beans, and breaded chicken breast.
Cheese pizza, deep dish.
Oh, deep dish. I like that.
Deep dish. Okay. Rusty, I'm just curious. What's your favorite place to get pizza from?
Gino's in Chicago, Illinois.
Never heard of it.
Great local place in Chicago.
Okay. Good
Cubs
stuff.
fan?
We went to a Cubs game. We're Braves fans, but
Okay.
we did go to Wrigley.
Okay, nice. I was in Chicago, wanted to tour Wrigley, but U2 was in concert, and I couldn't.
Okay.
That was frustrating.
That's understandable.
Have you found your favorite food in the upstate one?
I found close to it a place called Sasha's in Greenville.
Okay.
So it's a Colombian place. And it's
Yeah.
really close.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
You both play baseball. What sport would you play in college if you could play any sport, not baseball?
Okay.
I mean, the easy answer, golf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I played basketball growing up, so probably that. I guess those are only 2 sports I ever played. Baseball, basketball.
Realistically, for me, volleyball. I grew up playing volleyball. That was my second sport.
Yeah.
I got to letter in volleyball before I did baseball in Orlando. So that was fun.
I heard volleyball was actually growing in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest sports down there. I mean, in Puerto Rico, baseball is not like a school sport. It's just kind of like an outside thing. So like everybody like play volleyball first, then you play basketball. They say you play all along. So like growing up, I played every sport. My nephew, my niece do the same thing. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. One last one before we wrap up. Juan, it's your last season. Rusty, it's your first. Talk about like how each of you guys are like kind of getting ready for this season, and because we mentioned a couple times, Juan, you've been around SWU sports for a while, and so like it's got to be different. And though sentimental, I'm sure.
Yeah. So one thing was in the fall, I broke my wrist, so I didn't have a fall, so I was already a hit. But coming from that, I took a little downtime when I was in the fall. Like it got me down a little bit, but then I remember it's like it is really my last year. I just want to have fun with my friends. Like this is the last time I get to go out there every day at 3:00 and go throw with my friends and then hit. If you think about it that way, it's like it's just a sport. It's baseball. It's supposed to be fun. So I don't want to take it as a business or a job no more. So it's like a big thing that I'm trying to get in my head. Like work starts when I graduate. This is not work.
Yeah.
This is fun. So yeah.
Right, exactly. And it's a game, and a lot of athletes, especially college athletes, lose sight of that. And it's always important to not lose sight of it. This is a game, and it's meant to be fun. Now, you can compete, and you compete as hard as you can, work as hard as you can, and try to win as many games as you can. But like Juan said, in the end, it is a game, and it's meant to be fun. And it's very important to never lose sight of that.
Love that answer.
Yeah. You guys did great. And Isaac mentioned y'all are our first student athletes on the podcast. Congratulations.
Yes.
There you go.
I saw Rusty right there.
So in a couple of years when, we have 1 million subscribers, and
Right.
That's right.
we'll look back to you two guys.
Come back to
We'll
this
look
one.
you up
Yeah.
wherever you are. We'll bring you back. By that time, I'm sure we'll be on some, ESPN or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love it.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Okay. Well, good stuff.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
So we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Great. Warrior Nation, hey, good to have you back with us. And as we always say, go Warriors.
Go Warriors.
Go Warriors.
The Warriors.